Hey guys, it's Ethan here, back with another recipe for this week. Have you ever been to a restaurant, ordered something, and just been disappointed? I feel this way basically every time I get mac and cheese at a restaurant, and so today we are going to be making the best mac and cheese I have ever had. Better than any restaurant. You don't need to go out and buy all these crazy ingredients or cheeses. It's super easy, simple, and tastes delicious. The only things you're going to need are pasta. You can buy any pasta from the store. I just bought large elbows for this recipe. Some butter, some flour. We're also going to need whole milk or 2% milk, some sharp cheddar and pepper jack cheese, cream cheese, and some breadcrumbs to keep it nice and simple. First, we're going to throw our butter into the pan on a low heat and just melt our butter down to get it ready for our roux. Next, we're going to add a half cup of flour to mix around and start with the thickening of what's going to end up being our sauce later on. We don't want to brown this too much, we just want to keep it nice and light. We'll check that texture to make sure everything looks good. Next, we're going to start adding in our milk just a few cups at a time. So I'm going to add 1 and then 2 cups of milk and then give that a quick whisk and bring this to a boil. I'm going to do this and just whisk it in slowly to make sure that we're incorporating it nicely. And I'll add another 2 cups of milk along with some salt and some pepper to boot, just to make sure that we can season this up and get a nice flavor going for our sauce. Next, we'll stir this constantly until it comes to a boil, and then we'll add our cream cheese. The cream cheese will give this sauce a very nice, creamy, rich flavor, which will really help to enhance the texture overall. Last, after our cream cheese has completely been incorporated into our sauce, we're going to turn off the heat, check the texture, and we're going to start adding our cheeses. First, we're going to add that sharp cheddar cheese, and then we'll go in with the pepper jack. It's really important that they're freshly grated so that it will melt well. None of that pre-grated crap from the store, because that stuff's coated in cellulose, which prevents clumping by blocking out moisture and doesn't really allow for a nice melt. Next, we need to make our pasta. I just used elbow noodles from the store here. It's really important that we salt this pasta water to make sure that the pasta has a nice flavor and doesn't stick together. Next, we'll prep a pan with nonstick spray to avoid any issues with sticking after it's baked. We'll cut up some butter and melt it down to prep for the addition of breadcrumbs, which will eventually become the topping for our mac and cheese. I'll mix and incorporate these breadcrumbs just to make sure that the butter coats them. Add some pepper jack and sharp cheddar cheese, mix that around, and this will be the complete base for our topping. Now that everything is assembled and ready, we're going to add the noodles back into the baking dish, making sure to spread them out evenly. And now it's time for my favorite part, the sauce pour. Pour your sauce over the top of the dish, making sure to evenly coat the noodles. We'll mix this in very carefully, making sure to not break up the noodles themselves and covering every noodle with this delicious golden goodness. For the finishing step, we'll add our breadcrumb and cheese infusion to the top of the macaroni and spread it evenly, just making sure to coat the top of the entire baking dish. Finally, we'll take this away and whisk it into the oven for 30 minutes. This is the mac and cheese to make. It's warm, melty, salty, sharp. You guys have to try this with family, friends, or you can just eat the whole pan by yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you do, just remember to hit that like and subscribe button for more great recipes to come.